There he is now. There you can see him coming down the steps. I don't know if you can see those pictures, Anita.
Yes, we can see Donald Trump emerging with his wife, Melania, down the steps that have been brought to Air Force One. Just north of where I am at Regent's Park, Stansted Airport, to here, just a very short flight by the Marine One helicopter. And as you were mentioning, Gary, amongst the party, the official greeting party there, meeting President Trump and Melania Trump, well, that is the US Ambassador Woody Johnson, businessman, a Trump appointee, who will be hosting the President and First Lady at his official residence in Regent's Park for the next few hours and indeed tonight. And also among the party waiting to greet him. That's right, that's Jennifer Tolhurst, isn't it, Gary, the Queen's official representative in Essex?
That's right, each county has an official representative known as the Lord Lieutenant, and that's who he was speaking to before. And Liam Fox, of course, as you mentioned, the cabinet minister who's been sent out to greet the president. We've also got there the chief operating officer of Stansted Airport, who is here to greet the president.
No coincidence, perhaps, Gary, that the government has sent the International Trade Secretary to greet him.
Well, I think that tells you a lot, doesn't it, about the priority that the government places on this visit. Now, sure, there will not be a trade deal between the UK and the US signed during this visit, nothing like it, nowhere near it. But what will be very important are some warm words out of the President's mouth on UK soil about a future trading relationship with the US. So those things will be very important.
He's about to get on the Air Force One, Marine Force One, yeah.
So you can see now, Anita, that the President about to get on Marine One for that short journey into central London. You notice there are two helicopters. There are always two helicopters when Marine One flies. They're not always the same helicopter. That's the designation they get, the sort of call sign designation they get when the President is aboard. If he's aboard it, it's called a Marine One. And they will lift off pretty shortly. You'll hear the huge roar of their engines, and we'll feel the downdraft of their rotors from this distance away. You'll make that very short
Gary, yes, I'll
journey
be expecting to
across
hear
the Essex countryside.
Yes, Gary, I was just going to say I'll be expecting to hear the sounds of those helicopters above where I am very shortly. It's just a very short journey, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It won't take long at all, but they won't tell us precisely the flying time. Of course, the President's flight paths and all those kind of things are a top secret, really. Landing times are top secret. So we won't get any specific detail, but it is a very short distance, as I say, across the Essex countryside, across the northeast of London, down to where you are, over places like Primrose Hill in North London, coming down into...
And I think we have a problem with the sound from Gary O'Donoghue at Stansted Airport, but we'll pick up, continuing to look at these images from the airport in Essex, north of the central London location here at Regent's Park, where President Trump will be arriving imminently. And of course, America First is President Trump's key phrase, isn't it? I'm just talking again to my guests here, Dr. Leslie Vinjamuri, with me from Chatham House, head of the US and Americas program, and Dr. Mark Shanahan, expert in international relations and American politics at the University of Reading, and they're watching these images with me and with you, our viewers. In terms of Trump's America First policy, how important are images like the sorts of images he hopes people back home in the United States will see? How important are these sorts of images to him, the optics of a visit like this?
The optics are the absolute key for this visit. I suspect the thing he's really looking forward to is meeting the Queen, probably that just above a game of golf at Turnberry. It really, really matters for the audience that is in Middle America, in the heartland of the United States, who probably aren't exposed to quite the amounts of international visitors as we would be over here in the UK. Now, for Trump to be seen to have the hand and the ear and the listening from world leaders is vital.
Let's just pause as we watch this takeoff. Marine One preparing to leave Stansted Airport on its way to Winfield House, the residence, the official residence of the US ambassador to the UK. That's currently Woody Johnson. You saw him greeting the president. Formerly the home of the Woolworths heiress, Barbara Hutton, sold to the US government for the stately sum of $1 and first used as a US ambassador's residence back in 1955. President Trump was speaking in Brussels earlier about how everything America builds is better. He talked about America's defense industry. And no doubt he would argue that the Marine One helicopters are evidence of that. They certainly make a rather impressive sight as they taxi along and prepare to take off at Stansted Airport. And the US ambassador has said that President Trump is well aware of the protests. They're going to be waiting here in the UK for him. Whether, of course, the president chooses to watch images of those, we simply don't know. So, the president on his way to very close to the location where I'm standing with my guests, Leslie and Mark. We should hear those chopper blades very soon, I think.